The European Union approved a plan to relocate refugees stranded in Italy and Greece across the bloc in 2015. But the latest figures show member countries have accepted just 8% of the 160,000 refugees they promised to resettle. Brussels has warned it will accept no more excuses.
Our union is based on two principles: solidarity and responsibility. These words are not solely moral values. They are legal, binding principles enshrined in the treaties.
Hungary is among the countries that have refused to take any resettled refugees.
If you damage the fence, cross illegally, or attempt to cross, is counted to be a crime in Hungary.
It has begun reinforcing its border fence with Serbia, part of a crackdown on migration. Human rights groups accuse Hungary of criminalizing legitimate refugees and physically abusing migrants, a charge the government denies. The EU could take Hungary to the European Court of Justice to attempt to force compliance. But Brussels has other options, says research fellow Camino Mortera Martinez, who spoke to VOA via Skype.
So instead of going directly after a country which is not complying with EU law, you can try to use some other tools to force them into complying, for example, by withdrawing some of the budgets.
But that could backfire at a time when populist opposition to the EU is high.
To me, the political consequence of forcing countries at the moment to take in refugees is very clear. It's a very clear search on anti-EU sentiment.
Faced with that dilemma, Europe is desperate to halt the flow of migrants. Germany is among the European states speeding up the deportation of failed asylum seekers. Analysts say German leader Angela Merkel is taking a tougher line before elections scheduled for September.
Because migration, even before the euro issue, is the most important problem we have in Europe right now. An obstacle to further integration and a danger for the internal security situation in Europe.
The EU estimates there are between 700,000 and 1 million migrants waiting in Libya. Calmer seas in recent days saw a surge in numbers trying to cross the Mediterranean, with nearly 1,000 rescued by the Italian Coast Guard last Thursday. Henry Ridgwell for VOA News, London.